put the camera on the thing and it just fell. Yeah, right. Music that can't be played when you're a part of a Jehovah's Witnesses. And here's one for all the ex-JWs. I wonder who will understand that one. Anyway, I'm doing a video about how family reacted to us becoming Jehovah's Witnesses. They were all right about us going to church. They thought that was cool. They thought it was okay. And then we got into like studying with witnesses, and they were like, okay, not really saying too much. And then obviously it picked up and we started witnessing to them, etc, etc. But yeah, my dad was do what you want sort of thing. Man, I really need to get this freaking haircut. So I was supposed to so basically my dad, we got baptised. Dad sort of like, okay, you do what you do. But you become more critical of people when you become a witness, because obviously you're trying to live in a way that is which I think we should do. We take other people's feelings into consideration. I mean, some things go without saying. You go in someone's house, you ask them, do you want me to take my shoes off? Or you just take your shoes off if you know they like that or whatever, and you're polite and you're kind and things like that. But obviously it gets a bit heightened, and as you spend time with people, I don't know. Well, I'm about to say, you spend time with people who actually do those things and are more polite and things, and yes, they do show appreciation and things, some of them, but I think it's nothing to do with other people. It's just, this is my experience. I did try all that stuff, and I was like that, doing things for other people and being polite and kind and generous and thinking too much about other people maybe, and then people in my family, they just didn't really so much, and you drift apart from them, and you think, why are they not listening to what I'm teaching you? This is the truth, not the tooth, the truth. And you think they're mad for not listening to you. Anyway, they sort of let you get on with it. And then my grandparents came into the truth and weren't so strict with it. And I think the family thought, well, why are they doing that, but you're doing that? And that caused problems, I think. How comes you can't do these things, but they are baptised now, but they're going to watch Christmas films at the cinema, doing birthdays and things like that, and you think, well, they've only just come in, but you've got these things. So yeah, it's sort of, that's the way it is. I think, and the only thing is, I think a lot with some of my family, they think that I didn't talk to them or I fall out with them because I was a witness, when in fact they get on my nerves anyway, as people do get on your nerves, but they're family, so you're stuck with them. Yeah, so that's that. I'm not saying I don't want to be stuck with my family. I hope you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me or not. But my mum's side, well, what happened was, me and mum, our relationship wasn't great. there's a long story there, but basically I didn't really talk to her. I stopped talking to her anyway. Marie had stopped talking to her mum anyway. Although my mum, I said to her, I would like my kids to have a grandkid and I would like a mum to be there and blah blah blah, just contact me, blah blah. And she didn't, and our relationship was pretty much not there. No contact really. And then we became witnesses, and I was working one day with a brother doing window cleaning, and it was a nice day and I was having a good day window cleaning, and all of a sudden I got this message from my sister-in-law saying, have you seen what your uncle's put on, have you seen what's happened on Facebook? Don't go on it, don't go on Facebook because it's not good. If you haven't seen it, don't go on it. So I thought, sod it. Well, I left it for a while, and then I thought, well, I've got to go on there. So I did, I went on it, and my mum put on Facebook, my son is now baptised Jehovah's Witness, and is having nothing to do with me. That was bullshit, absolute bullshit. I just hadn't seen her for ages. At the time I think I may have had, I had 3 children and a pregnant wife. And I'm trying to get a 7-seater. And my mum lives far away from where I was. And I say far away, from where I was it's about 40 minutes. But our relationship wasn't great. And I was busy with work, etc. And to just jump in a car with babies that need nappies and stuff like that, get it all ready and go up there, and it's just like, it's so much easier for her to jump in the car and come and see me, which I told her just do that, but she didn't. So whatever. Anyway, put that on Facebook that because we're Jehovah's Witnesses, that we won't have anything to do with her. That we basically, her and husband, I think, have been going on apostate websites, watching apostates. But the funny thing is, like apostate websites, there's just crap about witnesses in there on the thing. Like, they can't have sugar, they wear capes, and you lot know all these bullshit lies that go around, but there are obviously true ones. Like allowing paedophiles to roam amongst your children, and letting men beat their wives and remain elders, and casting the wives out, and allowing bullying, and telling you to toughen up when your kids are being bullied. Anyway, let's not go into that. They've read all these things, and of course she'd read that Jehovah's Witnesses, they become Jehovah's Witnesses, they shun everyone in the world, they don't want nothing to do with them. Well, yes, it does distance you because it takes you time, and yes, you do want to spend less time with them, and you do want to spend more time with people who are a bit more considerate, maybe. Seemingly. Brainwashed, you see, we was. But anyway, on Facebook, one of my great uncles said, you're out of order, your kids should be taken off you, blah blah blah. And I was like, seriously? Okay, I'll not talk to you again. My ex-girlfriend came on there. What the hell's she doing? What's it got to do with her? Proper weird. Saying, oh, he'll don't worry, he won't do it for long, he'll wake up to it, sort of thing. But it was like, was it honestly your ex-girlfriend? Just sort of, I'm married with kids, and I have nothing to do with you, and I don't want nothing to do with you, and you have no say in my life, or you shouldn't be talking to my mother. But there you go. Especially the lies that were spread about me by her. And another uncle actually private messaged me saying that he disowned me as a nephew because of what I'm doing to my mother. Okay, but I'm not going to say on YouTube why I fell out with my mum, but it wasn't because of me. You'd be shocked at what I told you, that what we've been through, me and my two brothers, when my mum and dad split up. You'd be shocked. Some bad stuff. Anyway, and obviously none of my family witnesses, and they'd all put all these nasty messages, and it was just fucking horrible. And it was like, you were right when I was Church of England, but now I'm Jehovah's Witness, and now you're kicking off about it. And that's it. We just sort of like, they just all got cut off from our lives. That was it. So yeah, that's what happened on my mum's side. My dad's side, my dad still comes see me. It's funny because someone, I think it was Ugly Watchtower, asked if I was from Devon or Devonshire or whatever. My dad actually moved to Devon, and my stepmom is from Devon, and she does have this accent. The only explanation I can say is she goes, alright. It's not like that's like a Norfolk accent. Alright. I don't know. Anyway, this is accent, and it's a bit like Doc Martin-ish. Like if you watch Doc Martin on BBC, there's this. I don't like the BBC, by the way. But Doc Martin, or is it ITV? Maybe it is. Anyway, the accent, like Port Gwen, that is sort of it, because my dad lived down Clovelly, the village, the tourist village. He lived there for a few years, and yeah, they've all got this accent there. It's a little bit like Frodo, like Frodo in Lord of the Rings, their accent. That's a bit like Devon sort of thing, yeah. Anyway, she's got a slight accent, and I suppose if I spent a weekend with them, I might pick up a bit. I don't know, maybe. Who knows? My brother has also grown up there pretty much from a young age, so we do sound very alike, me and my brother. My brother Adam, he sounds a lot like me. I mean, all three of us brothers sound the same and have mannerisms that are sort of the same, but we sound the same, and on the phone we sound the same. Actually, a quick funny story besides being before being a witness, and I'm not a witness now, I'm ex-JW. Anyway, I'm an apostate. Yeah. My granddad rang me up. And said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm at home." He said, "Well, I'm knocking on the door and you're not here." I said, "What are you on about?" He said, "You rang me up. Your car battery's dead, isn't it?" I said, "No, my car battery's not dead. My car's fine." He said, "This is Nathan, isn't it?" I went, "No, it's Brian." He goes, "Oh, fuff. No, hang on a minute. Because I was in the garden." That was it. I was the one. Fucking hellfire. That's how. I can't remember. I remember now. I was the one. My car had broken down. It weren't starting. I needed a jump start battery, right? So I rang my granddad. He literally lived 5 minutes away. Like, if that, I could have drive there in, I reckon, under 60 seconds if I was speeding a little bit. So, but this is my granddad driving. So I ring him up. That was it. I rang him up. Blah blah. I'm not saying this from a memory. I'm not picturing this because I can't freaking remember it. I just remember the story now. I rang him up saying that my battery was dead. He rang me up saying, "Where are you?" I'm knocking on the door. I'm like, "No, I'm not here." Fucking hell. Yeah. And he said, "I'm here." And I said, "No." Because it's weird because I was telling the first part of the story when it was the wrong way around, and I was picturing myself on the drive. The car's broken down, so he comes. So he's like, I'm hammering on the door, mate. No one's here. And it turns out, yeah, he thought I was my brother. He'd gone and drove like for a half-hour drive on the other side of the town that we live in the city. We lived in Peterborough, and he went from one side to out of Peterborough on the other side to go see my brother because he thought his battery was died. And obviously he was at work. I was at home with a dead battery, and I was like, no, it's me, Brian. So that's how much I sound like my brother. How much time did it take me to tell you that story that wasn't even fucking true in the first place? Anyway, and that's the way it was. I felt awkward seeing my granny, who we call Granny Taylor. I felt awkward seeing her because she was close to my mum, and she thought about allowed sugar and all this sort of stuff. And I still went to see her every now and then. Very, very rarely, but I would have liked to see her more. But she'd just go and say, have you seen your mum yet? Have you seen your mum yet? It's like, well, it works both ways, you know. Which is not cool, because basically she died about 6 years ago maybe. And when she died, my mum rang me up crying, and I went down to the hospital, and my mum was kicking off because the way they dealt with the death of my gran or something weren't right. So I'm just like standing there, and my mum saying, look, Mum, calm down. There's nothing you can do about it, right? We need to just mourn now. Granny's gone. This is it. Stop. Don't make this a bad experience, all right? I mean, it's not bad enough as it is, but let's just calm down. And she looked me in the eyes while I was talking to her and listened and calmed down. And then we went and see my granny and whatever. And I got to spend a bit of time with my granddad, who I called my granddad Fred, but my real granddad died while my mum was pregnant with me, and that's why my name's Brian, because I was named after him. But anyway, I spent time with my granddad Fred in this room, and I said, should we say a prayer? And he said, yeah, and he was Christian. So I just said a prayer, and it seemed to make him happy. He said, amen, or whatever. And it was all okay. And then my relationship came back with my mum, and she saw my kids for the first time in ages. And one of them she'd seen once. When she was just born, and now she was walking, so she cried when she saw them. That's not my fault. You know, when before we went and we did birthdays, she used to forget all their birthdays and things like that. That's the way my mum is. She don't mean to be like that, but it's the way her mind works. She's just, you know, a bit like me, a bit all over the shop, whatever. And at that time, yeah. So yeah, got my relationship back with my mum. She gave us a lot of money to help us move out of Peterborough, which was becoming an absolute dive. All my family have moved out of Peterborough now, and that's a big family. A lot of them moved out because it was just getting a bit of a hole. And then I moved to this other village, to a small town, to be near my mum, and we moved to a different congregation because the one we were in was not very nice, and the one we moved to, what seemed nice, and obviously was not. Started getting on with my mum, working there, etc. So, and they were just alright, you know. They didn't really like talking about it, but there you go. Now we're out, mum's like, yeah, and they're all happy that we're doing birthdays and we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and things like that. Means I can help them put decorations up in the park and stuff like that. So yeah, because my mum owns, like, she lives and owns a business. Her and her husband, when she met him, he had the park, and she's with him, and she now runs the business, and it's like a caravan park and marina, and they put all decoration. That's where I work sometimes, doing like tree cutting stuff. The bloke cuts the trees and stuff, and then I'll just clear it up and help clear it, and also cut at the bottom and whatever. But the bloke I'm working with, I think he's happier working with me now. I'm not a witness. Everyone's more comfortable around me my neighbours are more comfortable around me. Some that weren't talking to me are now talking to me. But like I said in my other videos, it does piss me off because they just like didn't talk to me because of what I was, which is not fair. But I can see where they're coming from now, which helps me when I have to deal with other witnesses now. You know, they are just brainwashed as I was, so you have to take that into consideration. So, you know, that's how my parents viewed it all. Marie's mum's a different story. She still doesn't see her mum. I'll let her in another video maybe explain about her mum if she feels like she wants to. But she's now in contact with her brother, who we got in contact with anyway, we got back in contact with her because Marie's dad died, which was not nice at all. So yeah, what else can I say? That's how my parents viewed it. Dad was quite like, yeah, you do it, get on with it, and still got on with me. My mum's side sort of lost all that side. They didn't talk to me, but now I'm getting contact with them. And now, and more I have the time now to actually see family. So I'm seeing family I haven't seen for a long time on my mum's side. So yeah, that's cool. That's really good. So I'm seeing trying slowly with the lockdown. Can't really do too much, but see my cousins and uncles and aunties. My other grandparents who came into that lie, they are now obviously left as well. So that's all good. Family life's sort of okay, you know. A little bit pissed off with some of them at the moment, and some of them not. Just general. That's it. That's it. So yeah, what else can I say? Someone asked a question. I've answered the question. That's what happened to me. I'm trying to think of anything else. But yeah, lost my mum's side and kept my dad's side, and some of them fell out of me. Had arguments with one uncle who's into evolution and stuff, and started spouting all this stuff about evolution, and yeah, and because I'd studied it, obviously I knew more about it than he did, so it didn't make sense, and he sort of fell out of me, but we get on alright. You know, I like that uncle. We're cool. Anyway, another video done. I'm getting to playing my guitar. I'm trying to learn some Iron Maiden riffs, so it's all good fun. See you later, people. Another video made. I don't think my phone went off either, so bye bye.